Sophie Taylor, interview 1. Lily hadn't been in contact for a number of years. What were you doing at the manor?
I wanted us to be close again.
Why now?
Well, seemed as good as a time as any. And I was under pressure at work to take some leave. I had too much vacation time saved up.
And did you make up before she died?
Not exactly. Well, she was always very mean-spirited, and I should have known she wouldn't have changed. It was a waste of time of visiting.
Mean-spirited? How?
She was always so jealous of me. I was popular in high school and was friends with everyone. No one cared for her much. And I couldn't understand it since we were twins and almost looked exactly the same. She hated me for it, and that's why we stopped talking. I thought now we were older, she might be nicer to me. But no, I asked her to loan me some money, and she refused, said she didn't have any. I mean, what a lie. How do you own a property like this and not have money? And I bet Joe has left her a fortune. No, she was just trying to punish me.
How much did you ask Lily to loan you?
Around 20,000.
What did you need the money for?
Though I wanted to buy a new car for Thomas, JP.
When did you ask Lily for the loan?
At breakfast, the morning she died, but she refused. Maybe it's just as well. He doesn't deserve it.
What do you mean?
He hasn't been the most attentive husband lately. He's been at work a lot.
Seemingly that won't be a problem now that he's been fired.
Yes, maybe.
Do you know what he was fired? Do you know why he was fired?
He said it was because of his sales number.
Is that what you overheard when you were following him?
He said it was... I only heard his side of the call, but that's what he told me.
And do you believe him?
Of course.
So you don't know how you were spying on him the day Lily died?
I wasn't spying. I was just trying to make sure he didn't make a complete fool of himself. He'd been drinking over lunch, I guess, and I didn't want him to embarrass himself.
Maybe it was too late for that. Do you know that he'd given Lily a gold locket earlier in the day?
Yes, I saw that in the kitchen, but I'm sure she tricked it out of him. She always wanted what was mine.
The locket was yours?
Well, I found the locket in his coat before I met Lily for breakfast. I mean, it must have been for me. Like, why would she give it to her? It makes no sense. It had to have been for me.
Why do you think it was meant for you?
Well, because he's my husband, for starters. And I saw the charge on our joint card when I was checking our statements online that morning. I'm sure if he was buying jewellery for another woman, he'd take more care to hide it. Don't you think? So, it must have been for me.
So you were following him to make sure Lily didn't take advantage of him again?
Exactly.
Miss Taylor, your husband has already told me that he was in love with Lily and he's asked you for a divorce.
Nonsense. He only thought he loved her. Because she looked so much like me, and there's no way he'll divorce me now.
Why not?
Because now Lily's gone, he'll realise he made a mistake.
You're very optimistic. When you saw the locket in the kitchen, was anyone else in there?
No, just me.
And how long were you there?
About 10 to 15 minutes, no longer. I sat at the table for a time, thinking whether I should confront Thomas about the locket. Then I left I left to find him and came back for lunch at 1:30.
What did you talk about at lunch?
The sale of the manor, mostly. Nicole and Kelly were against it, but I encouraged Lily to sell. I mean, if she was that destitute and she couldn't give me a loan, then it was in her best interest.
Were Nicole and Kelly against the sale?
I don't know about Nicole. She seemed snippy and against everything, to be honest. She complained about the sale, the food, the cutlery, the fact that there was no wine served with lunch. Just one of those people, I guess.
What about Kelly?
She was far more pleasant, in fact. But she still didn't like the idea of the manor being sold. She said the property had great historical significance in the area and shouldn't be pulled down by the developer. But I told Lily to sell because no one else would come knocking. I mean, it looks okay from the side, from the front, but inside it's a mess. Have you seen it? Things falling apart, weird holes in the walls, all over the place like rats, and been nibbling. Who would have taken that on? No, I told her to sell, and sell fast, while there was still an offer on the table.
And after lunch you spent the rest of the day in the garden watching over Thomas.
Yes.
Did you see anyone else in the gazebo?
Yes, Matthew and Kelly were in there together, about 4:30.
And you went in for dinner around 7 p.m. Wasn't it dark then?
Yeah.
Did you see anything else that might be important to the investigation?
I don't think so.
Okay, you're free to go.
Thank you.